Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new season of Match Reactions. We've just gone and lost 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace, and I'm really, really sad. I'm going to be honest. I've been building this up and building this up. 3, 4 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm not looking forward to this game. Not looking forward to it at all. We're going to get hammered. Couple of weeks later, we're going to get even more hammered. And then we got closer and closer to the game, and I'm thinking, do you know what? We might just get a point out of this game. And then today, having been on the ale as well, I'm thinking, I think we're going to win this game today. I think we're going to win it. And we didn't. We didn't, obviously. Spoiler alert. But we did play okay, didn't we? We played all right. I think as all right as we could have hoped for at the start of the game when we saw the team sheet. It wasn't a great one. I'll run it through you right now. I wasn't expecting it. I'll be honest. I think there was at least two or three that I thought would be different. To be perfectly honest, firstly, it was the keeper and the defense I expected, except for I thought Trusty would have started at left centre back. To be honest, let me know what you think in the comments. That's what I thought. I didn't expect Robinson to start, but he did, and he did all right. We had obviously Baldock and Lowe at wing backs. Obviously, I think Hecky's going for sort of like let's trust the lads that got us there. Because I think there was only let me think. Traore? Traore that was the only player that wasn't a Sheffield United player last season. But we had Basham, Norwood, and Osborne in the midfield. I expected Norwood and Osborne to be in there. Did not expect Basham to be in there, to be perfectly honest. Bit of a weird one, but he did okay. I think all the midfield did okay. We're just missing that spark, aren't we? And then we had Traore and Asula up front. I actually thought that it was going to go like a flat four, and then Asula up front on his own with Slimani trying to push up and help him. Slimani not even started. Really, really weird one. I thought he would have been nailed on to start, absolutely nailed on, but he wasn't to be. He came on later on and didn't really offer a lot, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, the Palace side was probably as expected. Eze was just running the show, left, right, and centre. What a fantastic player he is. And I think Wolf Zaha leaving and going to Turkey, I think that will suit him down to the ground because he's now the main man for Crystal Palace. And he just ran straight through the middle of us. We had 2, 3 men marking him at any one time, and he's just always getting away from everyone. It was really, really difficult to mark him and stop him today because, yeah, he's just come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. But I think the first really, really good effort was from Willisula. It curled one just wide of the post. I think it just took a tiny bit of a deflection, went out for a corner, but it was really, really close. He picks the ball up on the right-hand side, just comes in on his left, couple of little bits of trickery, and then has a go from distance. And that is confidence, because I thought Willisula was going to come into this game with no confidence whatsoever, having not scored in pre-season. But I knew that I knew what we were going to get from Willisula today. Just battle, battle, battle. Good at holding off players. He will be battling with the defenders at all times. Got pace. He's going to be good on the break. Him and Traore on the break. We're going to cause them some sort of problem, but not enough problems for me, to be perfectly honest. In the first half, there were quite a few balls into the box from corners and free kicks, but Egan headed one over, and El headed one over. Didn't really get anywhere near scoring a goal in the first half or the second half, to be perfectly honest. They had loads and loads and loads of really, really good chances. Wes made probably 2 or 3 excellent saves. They had 2 goals disallowed and obviously scored the goal that counted that won him the game. But in the first half, I'm going to be honest, I've watched the highlights back. At the time, it was just a bit of a blur. Obviously, first game in the season, first game in the Premier League for a couple of years. It was all very exciting. So I wasn't really on it with taking down who had shots, who had goals disallowed. But Palace had a goal disallowed early on. I think it was Edward. I think it was just after Asula had that shot that just crept wide. It could have been Eze that had a shot from distance. Wes kind of, I think it moved in the air and Wes just kind of punched it in a direction and it got knocked back towards goal in the back of the net. I think he headed it back towards goal. Luckily, the goal was disallowed, but I was a little bit disappointed that one, Wes didn't either catch that or push that further away, or two, the defense just weren't on it and weren't ready. And I've been singing the praises of the defense because I thought the defense, they're going to have a really, really good season. But thinking about last season, there were times when we just switched off and either conceded goals or conceded really, really good chances. You can't do that in the Premier League. Palace did that a few times today, and they scored 3 goals, 2 offside, but certainly they scored 3 goals, and we shouldn't have let that happen at all. So yeah, not a lot happened in the first half for us. Lots of balls into the box, like I said, but we didn't really create anything going forward. Whether that was kind of a quick 1-2 and a shot, or a ball over the top and someone getting onto the end of it. It was a bit disappointing, but I think the thing is we can't expect the Blades to be smashing teams like Palace, who've been there for years and years and years, got some really good teams, and our side is not ready, is it? It's not quite there yet. I think Souza, I would have started Souza today, to be perfectly honest. Even if I'd have given him 60 minutes, I'd have started him today to get stuck in and kicked Eze up in the air a few times, to be honest. But yeah, it wasn't to be. They were quite far the better team. It was men against boys for a lot of the game. There's not really a lot of chances that I can talk about. We'll move into the second half because, like I said, not a lot happened for us in the first half. Palace managed to get the goal. Ayew goes down the right hand side. Osborne, I'm not sure why Osborne's there. That should be Max Lowe, really, but Osborne's down that left hand side. He's left footed. He's used to playing left wing back. So Osborne should be cutting that out. He kind of, Ayew pushes the ball past him, but I feel like Ozzy can stick a leg out here and stop this cross coming in. Egan lets it go past him, which not much he could do with that. He'd have probably put it in his own net if he didn't. And Anel just gets muscled out of the way by Edouard, and he gets a toe on it, and it ends up in the back of the net. Poor from Anel. Really, really poor from Anel. He should be better than that. He should be stronger. He should be getting himself into a better position. His awareness of where the striker is should be top priority for crosses like this. It was a fantastic ball into the box, but we should have dealt with it better. Maybe Osborne should have stopped it from crossing it. Maybe Egan should have cut it out, and Anel certainly should have stopped Edouard from getting on the end of that. But we're 1-0 down. We probably deserved to be honest. I don't think Palace were outstanding. I thought we defended okay for the majority of the game. Like I said, I don't think they were outstanding, but they were clearly better than us, especially in the final third. I've written down here that this was a big chance for Asula. I'm glad I wrote that down. 75th minute. We're clearly not creating much. So Wes thinks, stuff it. I'm going to pick the ball up and I'm going to whack it as hard as I can. Traore gets onto the end of it on the right hand side, lays it across. Will Asula hits it first time, and it goes into the side netting, but looked like it were nestling in that top corner. And if anyone remembers England versus Italy in the World Cup, probably eight-ish, 10 years ago, something like that, when Raheem Sterling hit a shot and it hit kind of like the outside of the goal, if you like. It hit the top corner, but the wrong side of the post. It felt a little bit like that, to be honest. It was a great strike. I've watched it back, and it does just creep wide of the post. It starts out wide, so you expect that it's not going to go in. But at the time, I thought that had nestled in the top corner. And I think Will Asula deserves something like that because 2 really, really good efforts. From distance, you've got to say the second one was inside the box, so not as far out as the first one that curled wide. But it was a great strike. Really, really good strike. I don't think Sam Johnston's saving that if that's on target. But let's be honest, if that's on target, that's hitting the top corner, isn't it? So yeah, it was a great break. That's really all we were going to get from today. Either quick on the break or a ball from a cross. We weren't going to be either running through them or passing the ball through them at will. We weren't going to do that. We just weren't. There was another one. I don't know when it happened, but obviously they scored another disallowed goal, which again, we should have been better with. And then there was one really, really towards the end of the game, sort of 80th, 82nd minute, something like that, where a cross comes in from a free kick. And who was it now? Was it not Tompkins? Joel Ward, I think it was, got his head on the ball. Wes makes an absolutely world class save, heads it back across goal. Wes manages to get an arm on it, but he's pretty much heading this in the 6 yard box, if I remember rightly. So Wes should be coming out and taking these crosses. So he needs to be a bit more confident, but fantastic save nevertheless. We let them win a lot of headers in our box, and we didn't win too many in their box. So that's really about it. I'd like to go through the players. It's so funny how a nothing game like this and Palace just score a really well worked goal, but Palace weren't incredible today. But it's funny how these games we would have probably won in the Championship, and we wouldn't have conceded. But Premier League players just they just find a way to score those goals, and we need to be better. We do, and I'm sure when Gus Harmer starts playing and Souza starts a game, I'm sure we'll be stronger in midfield. But I'm worried about the attack. To be perfectly honest, the attack for me was just so unpotent. Is that the word? Is that a good word to use? Probably not. The opposite of potent, anyway. We'll put it that way. Um, Lack of creativity. I'd have liked to have seen Andre Brooks on a lot earlier. I think subs were used a little bit too late from Heke. I've seen a few fans say that as well, so it wasn't just me. It almost felt like we're bringing subs on to let's fingers crossed, let's hope, rather than let's try and change this game. And I feel like if they come on in the 65th, 70th minute, then that could have been let's try and change this game. But instead, it was like let's just throw a load of players on and hope for the best. That's what it felt like to me. But Souza came on, which was good to see. Andre Brooks came on. Antoine Hackford came on. Who else did we bring on? Larouche, and I thought, yeah, Slimani did come on. Slimani did come on. But we didn't really create anything after that. We've not really got any strikers or really exciting attackers to bring on from that bench. Who else did we have on the bench that could have come on? Truste, Sarike, Louis Marsh, and then Adam Davis, the goalkeeper. So, yeah, not a lot there. Asula stayed on, and Hackford sort of played that just behind the striker role. Andre Brooks, big fan of, gave the ball away towards the end, which was a bit poor. But at the same time, I'd always rather have Andre Brooks on than somebody else because he's very excited footballer, I think. It's depressing though, I'll be honest. Obviously, when I didn't used to do this YouTube channel, when I was just a fan and I was going to the game, I could come home and I could sit on the sofa, watch TV, and try and forget about it. Obviously, social media is rife these days, so it's not the same. You can't just do that unless you are going to lock your phone away somewhere. You're obviously going to kind of try and be thinking, oh, let's just have a little look on Twitter, little look on Twitter, little look on Facebook, whatever, little look on Instagram, see what everyone's saying. But when you're doing videos like these, you've then got to relive it when you get home and you obviously have to do these videos. So, yeah, can't just forget about it. It's a bit of a therapy session for me, if I'm being honest. And I appreciate everybody being here to support the channel and obviously support me, support the Blades. The frustrating thing, though, is that let's put it this way. So me, Hal, and Ollie, Jimmy from Blades Ramble, all the podcast guys, Johnny from Shore and View, we all put in so much effort into these videos to give you as much information, as much entertainment as possible about Sheffield United. You guys love it. You guys get involved in the comments, likes, watch all the videos and stuff. It's fantastic. But our hobbies is this channel, and when we're putting so much effort into it to try and apologies, to try and make the best possible content, we're living it day in, day out, living it day in, day out. It's almost like you are putting on a show, putting on an event, and then you get to the event day, you get to the show, and it's all out of your control. You can't do anything about it. And everybody that you've put the show on for has had a stinker. I'm not saying the Blades had a stinker today. I'm just saying that when the Blades lose, you've put all this effort into all this content, and then you just feel a little bit flat at the end of it. And that's how I feel right now. I don't particularly thought we played terribly. I thought we played as well as we possibly could do with the tools that we had. We certainly need McBurney back. We certainly need to bring in a striker and or an attacking midfielder. And we obviously need to use those two domestic loans up as well, which I'm very excited for because I think we'll bring in some good players. But for the time being, there's just not enough creativity in there. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. I'll quickly bring some comments up before we leave, or I leave, should I say? The only really good thing that we can talk about is the fact that Wednesday are third bottom and Borough are rock bottom, which is quite funny, to be perfectly honest. Try not to be too down about it. I get that Hecky doesn't want to throw all new signings in at once, but that midfield lineup was a joke. But on to Forest. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the games coming up. So we've got Forest away. We've also got Man City as our next home game. So I don't want it to be like the season where we struggled to win a game. Like the first win took forever to come. It took like 17 games to come. So I don't want the same. So hopefully, we managed to pick up a win. Wednesday fan here. Unfortunately, I think you're close to getting 1 point from the last 20 minutes. The visitors are more dominant in the second half and scored the 50th minute. On to the next game. There we go. On to the next game. Result to be expected with our starting 11. I completely agree. Andy Meyer, some positive signs from a team in a bit of a situation at the moment. All judgment reserved now. Thought Asula worked his socks off, needs more of a presence around him. Could be a useful foil for McBurney once he gets a goal. I think he'll really kick on. Absolutely, Hal. I am totally with you with that one, mate. Worst midfield I've seen to start a Premier League game, Scott's saying. Don't get me wrong, Scott. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I don't want to think about that right now. Not bad performance considering the situation we're in. A few more signings and the players we've already brought in, I think we'll stay up. I hope you're right, Gaza, mate. I hope you're right. I agree, Gaza. If you'd have told me the starting 11 beforehand and told me the score, I'd have snatched your hand off. Some positives to take, but we lack creativity, and that starting 11 is nowhere near. I think everybody's saying the same. Thought Traore was the bright spark. About what we could have hoped for with the team we had out. Everybody's saying the same. Hopefully George isn't seriously injured. Yeah, fingers crossed. You could see George just wanted to continue playing, didn't you? That is George for you. George Bulldog just will not give up. And hopefully that means that he's not done himself a mischief. Yes, go on, Jimmy Blades Ramble. Yeah. I was on Sky Sports. I had a few people saying that to me today, which was quite funny. I went out for a meal last night and didn't see it, so it was nice that people tagged me in it and let me know in the comments if you did see it. Nothing to be ashamed of, just a lack of attacker up front. Absolutely. Do you know what I thought that? I think that Will Asula, like Hal said, with somebody else with a bit more experience, a bit more of a know-how, that will be great. And I think Will Asula's got a big future in the game. I've said this so many times. I saw Nick today, shouted him like a mad woman from over the road. Oh yes. I remember. I gave you a little wave. Best thing about Jimmy, I had my ramble cap on. Oh dear, you can't be saying that, Sarah. On Sheffield United way. Get it off. Get it off. That was poor to watch, mate. Glad I'm in Croatia. I'm going to say I didn't see you today. Didn't see you today, Chris. Nearly buried a cracker in second half. Top corner was unlucky. He really was. I'm going to fly through these a little bit now because I think they're all much of a muchness. Everybody's pretty much agreeing that we didn't play too bad. We played as well as we possibly could have with the team that was out, lacked creativity, and they were just the better team on the day and took their chances better. Asula and Traore did all they could, given zero creativity in the midfield. Hamer will help, but we need two more attacking midfielders. I think you're right. Shocking to watch. Not 1 ounce of creativity, but do we really expect anything with that midfield? I don't want to see that midfield in Championship. Never mind. Yeah, you're probably right. If that team would have started last season in the Championship, we would have been disappointed, wouldn't we? And I know we had Doyle, and I know we had McAtee, and I know we had Illiman in front, but if that team would have started a game, we'd have expected to lose. Um, I think Sheffield are better than Burnley. Burnley looking awful. Sheffield are in about 15 leagues lower than Burnley. That's crazy to say. At the end of the season, 3 teams will go down. Burnley, Luton, and Wolves. Sheffield United staying in the Premier League next season if they perform. Let's see. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Oh, Leeds lost to Birmingham as well. Good shout. That was funny to see. Toothless up front. Absolutely. Lost all my comments. There we go. We are back. Will McBurney be fit for next week? Not sure, Chris. Not sure, to be honest. We need him back. We need him back desperately. But at the same time, we don't want to rush him back too much. Obviously, him and Brewster both had a lot of injuries in their time at Bramall Lane. So fingers crossed we get them back when they're ready. They're fit and ready. Hecky always does that, brings on with not much time to respond. Big thumbs up to Wes today. Yeah, I thought Wes did all right. Palace had 24 attempts. That doesn't sound right, but if you're saying it, it must have. Bash in midfield do not go in the same sentence anymore. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, Gabe. I know what you're trying to say, mate. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. But I don't mind bashing the midfield, to be fair, perfectly honest. But I didn't really notice him today. So I think not noticing bashing the midfield probably means that he didn't have the best of games. Hi, Nick. I appreciate all you're doing. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that, mate. I didn't do that for praise or anything. I was just saying it just kind of brings you down when all your efforts have been put towards one thing and then you've just got no say in it whatsoever. It's just a bit frustrating. Harmer is a quality signing. By the way, still don't know if it's Harmer or Hamer. He said Hamer, but all the commentators said Harmer. So I'm going to continue to say both, probably. Top choice of wardrobe, Nick. Thank you very much, Andy. Appreciate that, mate. Had it on all day. It looks probably the most like the new kit for me. Things are going to get better, Anne. You're not wrong there one little bit. Things can only get better. Other than if we lose, yeah, maybe not. Maybe things can get worse, but hopefully we put 1 and 3 points on the board very, very soon. Evening, guys. You lot were unlucky today. With a few more signings, you'll be okay. Harmer will be. Say I did it again. Harmer will be a quality addition. You've taken him at. Would have taken him at Palace. Yeah, fair enough. I think he's a fantastic signing. Loads of people asking me today, what do you think to Harmer? What do you think to Harmer? I think there's no way that Harmer can't be a quality player for us. Whether he shows it this season or next season, if we are to be relegated, but I think that Harmer will have a big say in this season for us. Carry on regardless. Blade, Skegness Branch. Yes, Gary. Nice one, mate. Thank you for commenting. Asula is a baller from a Palace fan. There we go. We'll love to see it. Love for Asula. How did Traore do? Fan of his previous team. He did okay. I don't think he's quite at the level of the Premier League yet. Looks a little bit easy to knock off the ball. At one point, he ran through, and I don't know, can't believe I've forgotten about this. At one point, he ran through. He's like jinking in and out. It looked like Illiman. It looked like Illiman in his element, and he's like running through like this. And then he kind of made the defenders come onto him, and then laying it across to Asula was just a shocking ball. It was horrendous. But it was just like he did everything right, but the final ball was awful. Cherry did great, got a big clap and even a song when he went. I didn't know what the song was. I didn't hear the song, to be fair. Robbo made a superb tackle today, had a decent game. Yeah, I don't think he had a bad game, to be perfectly honest. Most definitely got 4 or 5 players in. Harmer will be an awesome striker. Striker? 2 loans. He's not a striker, Stuart. He's a defensive midfielder, actually, if that's what you're saying. Left-sided issue is nothing new. Need to be a whole lot smarter when it comes to giving fouls away. Absolutely. Let's leave it there. Could have been worse today with the team we had put out. Yep, you're not wrong, Paul. Let's leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Frustrating to not get anything from the first game of the season. No clean sheet, no goals. But that's practically what happened in pre-season, didn't it? So fingers crossed. Yeah, Dave has literally just come in the last seconds and just said Sander would have made no difference today. I'm completely with you. I don't think anyone's even mentioned Sander, so I think you're right there, Dave. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Everybody, make sure you like the video before you go. It shows how much you appreciate us and the channel and everything and helping us grow. So please leave a like before you go. And fingers crossed for the next game. Up the Blades.